Hi, good afternoon. How are we doing today? I hope the answer is well. So good to see you. So good to see me. Um, so good to see you doing your practice. Because if you're watching this, then you're doing your practice. So I'm really proud of you. This afternoon, I'm smoking on a little smart move. I had already started it before I came on video. So I'm just going to enjoy a little bit more so we can take a moment together to kind of reflect on our cannabis, right? Because that's one of the reasons we're here. One of the reasons we come together in these sessions is to talk about cannabis and to talk about its healing benefits and what it can do for us, right? So in regards to yoga, we really like cannabis because it helps to kind of loosen things up a little bit, right? We get a little less into our heads and a little bit more into our bodies. So when I light my cannabis, I just like to give thanks to the cannabis gods, the ganja gods, the beautiful motivating properties that cannabis provides to us. I just want to give thanks for this cannabis, this particular strain here, this smart move, for bringing in curiosity and compassion and just overall love. Take a moment here and reflect with your cannabis if you're partaking this afternoon with me, and just think about what this particular flower in your hand does for you. Just like each rose has its own smell, just like each cannabis flower has its own smell, each strain will also give you different effects. Just knowing that with our cannabis, we get to discover our truest truth. We get to ask outside of ourselves, but within ourselves, what it truly is we desire. We get to think about sending our intentions just like the smoke up into the sky, allowing those intentions to become those things, those happenings in our life. Just taking one last inhale here. Reflecting on the grounding in here, the connecting with our Mother Earth, connecting with this beautiful weed that she's placed on the planet for us. And I declare that we're going to have a most amazing class, a most amazing session together today. As I guide you through, please remember to reflect on your cannabis. Please remember to take a drink of water at any time if you need. Pause the video at any time, grab your cannabis, light it up. And so with that, I'll just open my eyes and reflect back to you that you are a beautiful being of light. I see that light shining back at me as a reflection of who I am. And just like that mirrored reflection in the television, when it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, like I see your reflection just as you see me. And thank you for seeing me as I see you. Stoner mouthfuls. We're going to start. Drop off your cannabis, grab a sip of water. Hydration, remember, it's really important. Cannabis has the tendency to dry us out, to dehydrate us. So it becomes really important, even during our flow, to grab a sip of water. Most often, I'm not going to prompt you to do that, but I want you to take those opportunities when it feels right. So go ahead and come onto the knees, hands toward the center of your mat, and I want your feet toward the back of the mat. Bring your big toes to touch and send your knees to the edges of your mat or close to. We want to create like a little V shape down there with the legs. Start to drop your hips to your heels. Walk your hands forward, drop the belly between the thighs, and just bring the forehead into the mat. Now, if you happen to have a yoga brick or block, you could always take and place that block right here underneath your chest and allow a little drapery to kind of happen here. It allows those shoulders to become a little bit more open. And now take that forehead and just rock it side to side. Start to feel massaging on the brow, relax your jaw. As you soften your face here and feel that pressure of your third eye rolling back and forth on the mat, taking another moment here of reflection, connecting in with the earth, deciding what that means for you. Keep that jaw soft. Keep rocking it side to side. I'm just going to start with a little twisting sensation, a little swishing sensation. We're going to do this by pressing our fingertips into the mat, inhaling and lifting off the mat, bringing the chest and the chin off, forehead off, and start to walk yourself over to the right side of your mat. You're going to bring your belly up and on top of that right thigh. For me, I got a little extra belly, so I got to lift it up and place it onto that thigh. But I want the entire right side of your belly pressing into the thigh. Press your palm, right hand into the mat. Bring the left hand on top. Start to press those fingertips away from you, walk or crawl them away, and then push into those fingers and sink your left hip back down to your heel. Now, two things are happening here. I'm sure there's quite more than two, but the big of it here is that we're feeling a stretch along the left side of the body. We're feeling it from that pinky all the way down the left edge of the arm into that left hip. We're opening up the left side of the body here, relaxing the face in between the biceps. Maybe the forehead comes to touch the mat, maybe not. Don't stress if it doesn't. Now, the second thing that's happening here is we're feeling a little squish on the right side of our body. When we start on the right side, squishing through the ascending colon, we're bringing information in, and that information is, what is it you're ready to release in your life? Take an inhale, use your belly to push against that thigh. Think about whatever it is that you're ready to let go of, bad habits, maybe things you say to yourself, maybe the way you treat others. Soften your face. Relax your eyeballs. Still using that breath to push against that right thigh. Last big, deep push onto that right side, really plugging an anchor into that left hip, bringing it down to the heel. And start to walk those fingertips back, lifting yourself off that thigh. Walk the fingertips to center and drop that belly back down. Starting to notice here if you go a little deeper onto the mat. Just softening your face here, softening that jaw. On your next inhale, lift up off of those arms, lift the chest, lift the head, walk it over to the left. Again, making sure the left belly, side of your belly, is onto that left thigh. Walk your hands out to the edge of the mat and into the corner of the room. Press those fingertips away, left hand down, right hand on top. Start to plug that anchor into your right hip, bringing the right hip down to the heel. Starting to feel that stretch along the right side of your body, from the pinky down the outside edge of your arm, into the armpit, down through that right side of your rib cage, and into that right hip. Then notice your belly as you breathe, inhaling, filling that belly up. It presses against that thigh. This compression, this bind in the belly is helping us to release things that aren't serving us anymore. Soften your face, soften your jaw. Taking a few more deep breaths here, releasing whatever it is that's not serving you anymore. Let go of those thoughts about yourself or about others. Let go of any grudges you might be holding. Maybe letting go of any bad habits that you're saying, okay, it's time for me to release. Inhale, big and deep, push that belly against the thigh. And exhale to soften, walk it back to center. Now we need to do a little opposite stretch here. Start to shift it forward, pull onto your palms. Bring your knees underneath you. Walk your hands out, one hand length. Curl onto your toes. There's that blood coming back in there. Now kick your knees and let them hover before pressing the belly to the thighs and lifting your hips up to the sky. You're finding our first downward facing dog. So get your hands shoulder distance apart. Start by squeezing into a spider grip. Create a suction cup grip with that palm. So what that means is you're pressing into the tip of the finger and you're pressing in where that ball of the finger starts to meet that palm. On all of those fingers, squish into it. Now, when you do that, imagine you're rotating the lids of some jars. So the eyes of your elbows start to rotate forward. And it also presses your chest towards your thighs. Good. Now, think about pulling your sternum to meet your belly button and allow the tailbone to reach to the sky like there's a puppet string on the end of your tailbone. Good. Now shake your head no. And nod it yes. Exhale to let something go here. Bend your right knee, straighten your left. Exhale to bend the left knee and straighten the right. Bending again, right knee, left leg straighten, starting to notice how that heel comes a little closer to the mat. And exhale. Good. Release both heels toward the mat. Shake the head no. Let something go. We're almost done here. I know it's getting intense. And nod it yes. Good. Release down to the knees. Shift it forward. See if you can find your thighs, then your hips. Use your elbows to hug into the body. Release it down to the belly. Good. Chin to the mat. A nice job. So we're going to work into a little quad stretch here. I want you to get your feet about hips distance apart. Then lift your pelvis and press down into that pelvic floor. Press down into the toes. On your inhale, just lift the chest, lift the head, lift your hands off the mat. So this is our baby cobra to start, just feeling that spinal stretch. And then exhale, release it down. Curl back onto your toes. Start to press up onto the knees and then push up, find your plank. Shift it back, find your downward dog. Good. Moving into that quad stretch. Now that we've stretched those legs out a little bit, stretch that spine out, come high on the toes. Shift it forward. Drop down to the knees. Shift it all the way forward. Hug the elbows into the side body. This is preparing you for chaturanga. Release down to the belly, tops of toes. Good. Get those feet hips distance apart, whatever you imagine that to be. Bring your hands next to you. And now bring your, your left arm. Let's bring both arms out in front. And then bring your left arm across to meet the right elbow. Okay? Good. Now bend your right knee and reach behind you to grab for the top of your foot or your ankle. Good. Start to peel your right foot down toward that booty. You can also start to press up here by walking that elbow back a little bit and coming to stack on that left elbow. This will increase the stretch to the top of that right thigh. You can always stay down here. Decide what feels right for you, getting that stretch from that the knee all the way up to that right hip on the top. One more deep breath here. And slowly exhale to release it down. Bring those elbows underneath your shoulders, press into the tops of the toes, press your chest forward, find a Sphinx posture. Maybe wiggle out your hips just a little bit here, press through the tops of those toes, chest forward. Good. Now, release your right arm across toward that left elbow, creating a nice stack here. Then release yourself down as you reach that left arm back. Kick that foot up, grab a hold of the top of the foot, start to peel that foot down toward the booty. Staying right here, feeling that beautiful stretch along the top of that left thigh, or maybe pressing yourself up here. You can always walk that elbow a little farther away so it's not as intense of a back bend, but we want to make sure that you're not dumping into the shoulders. You're pressing up and out here to increase the stretch along that left thigh. Smile, release something here with your exhale, just let go. Lengthening and strengthening in ways we forgot. Release it down. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Palms out in front, create two parallel lines here. You're back in that Sphinx posture. Press through the palms, pull through the elbows, and peel your collarbone between your shoulder blades. Eye gaze forward. Press down through your pelvic floor. Press through those toes behind you. We're here for 3. Breathing, 2, and 1. Release those elbows wide. Walk your hands back behind you. Chin to the mat. Take a big deep breath. Push your spine away from you. And exhale to soften. Good. Bring the thumbs underneath your nipple area and squeeze into that spider grip. Pull the elbows back toward your body and push yourself up. Maybe you curl onto the toes and lift into plank or move through those knees. We all meet in a downward facing dog. Shake your head no. And nod it yes. Nice job. Start to walk your feet forward, coming onto the tippy toes. Try not to let the heels come down. Walk those feet in between the hands. Bring the big toes to touch. And on your inhale, come up for a half lift, figure 7. So we want to reach the crown of the head long. We want to imagine if I were to come by that your back were like a table, I can place my little teacup there, it would be just fine. You can bring the palms to the thighs here, pulling those shoulder blades back, creating an even deeper sensation. On your next exhale, release those hands down. On your inhale, come back to that halfway and just exhale here. As you push through the soles of the feet, inhale, come up the rest of the way. Be slow here. Let the head be last to rise. Reach the fingertips up and draw in some of that energy as you drop your hands down to your heart center. Good. Inhale, eyes up, reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward. So push away the sides of the room. Come down with that flat spine. Release the fingertips down. Shake your head no. And nod it yes. Bend your knees. Step your right foot back. Good. Step it way back. Maybe even walk your toes back so your left thigh starts to try and come parallel with that the bottom of the mat. Good. Frame your feet. Kick your left foot back. Shifting high on the toes. Either come down to the knees or you can try chaturanga. It's the same movement either way. We're going to rotate those elbows in. We're going to squeeze into our spider grip. Bend the elbows to hug the sides of your body. Then release it down, chest and chin, or maybe a belly flop, or rolling onto the tops of the toes and pushing up. You'll find an upward facing dog if you went straight into that chaturanga. Maybe they're on the belly for that baby cobra. You can lift up here too for a bigger cobra. Okay, you decide what feels good for you today. Then rolling through the knees or rolling over the toes, shifting it back, finding a downward facing dog. So they call this a sun salutation. We'll go through it on the left side, so just pay attention as we're going through. This is something you'll find I do often in our practices. It's definitely a beautiful part of the flow to add on and honor the sun. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, forward up and through like you're a flamingo. And get in between the hands. If you struggle with getting that foot up there, drop it underneath and walk it up. Or you can drop down to that opposite knee and swish it around. Nothing wrong with swishing. Curl onto the toes. Lift it up. Most important thing here, right knee stays over that right ankle. Try and get your right thigh parallel with the mat below. And maybe walk those toes back a little bit so you can squeeze an imaginary block between your thighs. Drop the left hand in line with the right arch. Windmill your right arm up to the sky. Nice. Beautiful. Squeeze that imaginary block. Get that right thigh a little more parallel. Really press into the big toe mound on that right foot. Windmill the hand down. Frame the foot. Shift it forward. Give it a little hop, a little kick, a little lift, a little standing split. Let the crown of the head be heavy here. And then release your left foot down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, rise, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go. Rise halfway and exhale here. Press through the soles of the feet and inhale the rest of the way. Come on up, reach for the sky. Head comes up last, tuck your tailbone, protect your spine, cactus the arms. Let it go. Inhale, back up. Good. Hands grab that energy, pull it down to your heart center. Drop your chin to your chest. Hinge it forward, find a nice flat spine, alternative way to forward fold. Release the hands down, shake your head no. And nod it yes. And bend your knees, frame your feet, step your left foot back. So here starts the cycle. From that forward fold into a lunge, and then we come high on those hands, kick those toes back, finding our plank. Second portion of our sun salutation. Okay, then we shift it forward, finding knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga into upward facing dog or cobra. Next 2 steps, right? Then we squeeze onto those fingertips, curl onto the toes, lift the hips, find a downward dog. Almost there. Then we lift that same leg we started with, which would be our left one on this side, and shift it forward, up and through. Find your lunge. Good. Then right hand comes to the mat, left arm reaches to the sky, finding that beautiful reach for the clouds, squeezing into that spider grip, pressing into the big toe mound on that left foot, and windmill it down. Frame the foot, shift it forward, hop, lift, kick. Find your standing splits. Now, anytime you find standing splits, we're lifting from the inner thigh. We're really rotating our toes down to keep our hips square. Release that right foot down to meet the left. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale here. Root to rise, press to the feet on the inhale, reach up for the sky. And exhale to back bend, let it go. Inhale up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Drop your chin to your chest, giving a nice reverent bow for our sun salutations. Soften your face, say something nice to yourself and mean it. Really mean it. Good. Inhale, I gaze forward. So swim those arms up to the sky and then swan by forward. Come on back down. We're finding our forward fold once more. Uttanasana. Bend your knees. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot back. Drop down to the knees. Bring them underneath your hip points. So what that means is just shift your booty back a little bit so your hips are stacked over your knees. And you want your knees as wide as your hips. And so if you're unsure about that, you can take your fists side by side, place them in between the knees, and then walk your knees over into those fists. Okay, that's your very own hips distance. We often tend to think it's a lot larger. It really is, okay? So I encourage you to measure as you start to get used to your practice, measure your hips distance anytime that's referenced, okay? Back into protection of those hands, we want to squeeze into that spider grip once more, really pressing into the fingertips, into the mounds of the fingertips where they start to connect with the hands, really squishing into that so it pulls some of the weight out of your wrists, okay? Now, turn your right toes away from you. So when I say away from you, I want you to turn it to the right side of your mat, okay? This is already going to start to want to shift your hips. So what that means is I want you to kick your left toes back. Good. As you kick the left toes back, roll your left arch in alignment with the back of the mat. Good. Now start to press your hips forward and lift your left arm to the sky. You can adjust those back toes. Maybe you come onto the toes on that right foot, or you stay planted. Either way, we're pressing our hips forward. We're squeezing it out. We're reaching those fingertips up, and we're trying to stack here. So don't let your head just hang heavy. We want to really push and reach out of that bottom arm. This left foot is down just for leverage here. You could always lift it up, flexing that foot. It depends on how much strength you have today, how much you want to challenge yourself today. Keeping it down here is beautiful. Don't ever judge yourself for what you think you should be doing. Listen to your body and ask it what it wants you to be doing. Windmill that left hand down, releasing that foot if it was up. Rotating back on that right knee. Curling onto your right toes. Okay, so that's the knee on the floor. Then pick yourself up. Lift that left leg up to the sky. Find a three-legged dog. Flex your foot behind you. Reach those left toes down. Make that adjustment to kick your left heel back. You're feeling the stretch through that left leg. Good. Release it down about hips distance apart. Feet hips distance apart. Pedal it out. Stopping in the center. Shaking the head no. Releasing anything that's coming up here. This brings the nectar back to our brains. Nod it yes, say thank you for whatever comes up. Release down to your knees. Onto the other side. We want to rotate those left toes behind us. Start to kick the right toes back and open up. Reach the right arm to the sky. And then look back at that right foot. Make sure that it's parallel with the back edge of the mat and in alignment with that left knee. As you reach up to the sky, remember not to dunk the head. Reach and push out of that left arm to get a nice length here. You can adjust that left foot if you need a little more. You can really square it in a nice right angle. And then maybe you lift that right foot up. Breathing here. Honoring yourself wherever you choose to go today, wherever that body leads you. Good. One last deep breath here. You're really squishing those hips forward. You're really pressing into that low hand, squeezing into that spider grip to protect your wrist. And exhale, drop it down. Rotate it out. Curl onto those left toes. Lift yourself up onto that left foot and reach the right toes to the sky. So maybe you notice here that our dog's a little shorter here. That's why you can drop that right hip down and kick that right heel back, reaching that pinky toe toward the floor to really feel that foundation of your left leg. Pressing into those palms, squeezing into that spider grip evenly here. And release it down. Oh yeah, pedal it out. Let it go. Shake your head no. Nod it yes. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. So you're finding yourself at the back of your mat. I'm going to transition to the front facing so you can see me here. So you're toward the back of the mat here. Bring your toes to touch. And maybe you can bring your heels together. It's going to depend on like your foot shape and all of that good stuff, right? It just depends on your body type. Don't stress about that or judge yourself on that. But we just want to make sure the big toes are touching at least, okay? I like to keep a little separation between my heels for a little added balance. Start to press through those feet and place a micro bend in your knees. As you inhale, come up halfway, keeping that micro bend, pulling the sternum to the belly, really stretching it long. Exhale here, and as you inhale, press yourself up, reach it for the sky, tuck your tailbone, and exhale to let something go. Stop gripping through the toes, reach the arms up, exhale, let it go. Lot going on here. Inhale, reach up, exhale, hands through heart center. Good. Drop those thumbs, press them into your sternum. Pull your shoulders out of your ears. That means take a little weight and plug it into the elbows. Tuck in your pelvic floor and press through your feet. Smile. Find something you're grateful for. Beautiful. Inhale. Reach those arms up to the sky. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. So watch the screen real quick if you're not understanding what I'm saying by that. When you're reaching, are you going like this? Can you cover your ears? Pull those earrings off. Pull those shoulders down like they used to do in like Egyptian times, right? You should be able to do the head side to side thing here. There's enough space there. And then here we're also taking that sternum, the bottom portion of the rib cage, pulling it to the belly. Cool. Now pull in that pelvic floor. Remember your bowl of soup. That pelvis is like a bowl. Maybe it's a bowl of ice cream, okay? But either way, we don't want it to spill out. If we allow our hips to just kind of hang out, so watch me from the side. If I let my hips hang out, all my soup is spilling out the front. If I tuck it super hard, now all my soup's spilling out the back. So we've got to like come into a place where that bowl sits nice and parallel with the floor below. Okay? Good. Grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Press your right hand to the sky, and now pull those shoulders out of the ears. Pull your pinkies back behind you. Good. Now pressing through the feet, shift your hips to the right a little bit and peel your right arm over your right ear. So this is our Ardha Chandrasana, our half moon pose. What's really important here is that we're pulling that right shoulder out and away. We're tucking that left shoulder under. Now it's okay for this right arm to start to go toward that right ear on this pull, because what we're doing is we're encouraging a stretch down that right pinky, down the outside edge of the body, in through that right side body, in through that oblique muscle, into that hip, and all the way down into the nice edge of the right foot. Using the entire length of your body here to stretch. Pull those pinkies back a little bit more, open up that chest. Maybe your eye gaze comes to the ceiling or the corner of the ceiling where the wall meets it. Good, inhale, come back, reach up, and imagine there's a beach ball on this left side. Round and curl over it. Nice, smile. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, cactus the arms, tuck your tailbone, let something go. Inhale up. Good. Exhale, hands down through heart. Give them a rest. Let the elbows fall. Keep those thumbs at the sternum. Now drop your chin to your chest. Close the eyes here, keeping that spine nice and long. Just noticing the length on the right side versus the left. Getting those big toes back to touch if they're not there. Softening through the toes, don't clench. Feel your body sway, noticing how maybe if you partook in the cannabis, how it is affecting that sway. Maybe you have less thoughts coming through, maybe you have more. Don't start to focus on them, okay? We're not here to create more thoughts, we're here to release them. Soften your face, relax your jaw. Thinking about all those cues will distract you from your thoughts. Softening anywhere it's clenching, anywhere you're clenching. Good, smiling. Eye gaze forward, chin parallel. Inhale, reach those arms up. Keep those shoulders out of the ears. Good. Grab the left wrist with the right palm. Turn the left palm up to the sky. They call this one a Calcutta grip. We shift the hips to the left. We peel the left arm over the left ear. Good. Pulling that sternum to meet the belly. Tucking and squeezing in that pelvic floor so you can get that nice little, that nice bowl of soup, right? Pressing through the soles of the feet and then pressing through the edge of that left foot. Good. Feeling the stretch, if you're wondering, from that left pinky down the outside edge of that arm into that left armpit and down into the left hip. Good. Eye gaze up to the ceiling or up to the corner where it meets it. Pulling the left shoulder back and the right shoulder under. On your inhale, come on out. Tuck your tailbone, squeeze it in. Exhale, round over that beach ball on that right side. That big giant beach ball. Round around it. Don't squish it. Smile. It's just yoga. Inhale, come on back out. And exhale, hands down through heart center. Nice job. Allow those elbows to drop. Heel the bottoms of your shoulder blades down your back towards your butt. Pull in that pelvic floor. Contain that bowl of ice cream. Pull that sternum to meet your belly. Feel how much longer, stronger you feel. Relax your face. Soften your eyebrows. Maybe close your eyes. Release the fingertips down by your sides, reaching those fingertips long. So start standing in stillness posture. Soften your face, soften your jaw. Wiggle out those fingers, find some jazz hands, really start to shake it out. Moving into a little somatic release here, so just starting to shake everything. Just shaking it off. Shaking through the legs, shaking through the ankles. You can open the eyes here so you don't fall over. Just shake it all out. Shake it, 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 shake it. Reach it to the sky. Hands come down through heart center, forward fold. Try not to head rush. Release the hands down. Find your knees. Sit it down. Find your booty. Sit up tall. Find your shoulders down your spine. Palms in your lap. Hands to the sky. Soften your face. Soften your jaw. Resist the urge to fidget. Resist the urge to move. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your body tingle. Say something nice to yourself and mean it. Smile from your heart. Acknowledge your truth. Whatever that is in this moment, what is your truth? Soften your face. Still sitting up nice and tall, starting to put focus on that root chakra at the base of the spine. Feeling that vibration. Feeling your energy center, all focused right here to your pelvic floor. Harnessing your power, energy. Starting to bring that energy up into that womb space. Igniting that fire within. Breathing in that fire energy here. And drawing that energy now up into our solar plexus. That space between the belly button and the heart. Feel it radiating, it vibrating, it creating energy. Manifest. Coming to fruition. These are the words associated with this space. Bringing that energy now, all of it, bring it into that heart. Feel your heartbeat anywhere it's beating in your body, just noticing that vibration. Your heartbeat has vibration all its own. It beats just for you. Smile from this place. This is your love. Still resisting that urge to fidget, moving that vibration now up to your throat. This center, this space is much larger than we normally imagine. It's not just here at the throat, it surrounds our neck and shoulders. So if you're feeling tense in the neck and shoulders, I encourage you to consider maybe speaking up for yourself or saying something that you've been needing to say. Taking a moment here to inhale together in through the nose. So release any breath here. And on your inhale, in through the nose. And with vibration, with sound, exhaling it out. 2 more times, really to open that throat. Inhale. Soften your jaw. Last time. Inhale. Fill that belly up. Fill that breath out to the sides of the room. Expand your lungs. Hold the breath. Open mouth. Let it go. Close your mouth. Come back to that stillness. Taking that energy center now up to your third eye, bringing it past your eyes, past your nose, inside your face. Feeling that vibration as it pulls out, pours out of that third eye space. Knowing that anything that you can imagine has now been activated. Anything that you desire, anything that you intend to have in this life, good or bad. So watch what you're sending out there. Allow those good vibrations to come from you right now. Know your truth. Don't focus on any negative that pops up. Just say thank you for the reflection and send it away. Taking another deep breath here. Feel that third eye really activated. Drawing that energy center now up above the crown of the head, through the crown of the head, to about 3 to 4 inches, maybe 5. You'll feel it. It depends on how large that vibration is tonight. Let it smother you. Let it cover you with its vibration. This is where your conduit speaks. It comes in and out of this space, your energy, your fluidity, your abundance. Take another big, deep inhale, feeling that energy root all the way down into that root chakra, pulling that energy in from the sky, sending it back out through the sky. Taking a moment to draw your hands together now, giving yourself the opportunity to settle anywhere that wasn't settled. Bringing the palms into the heart, dropping your chin to your chest. Feeling that beautiful length on your spine. And saying something to yourself. One word, just pick one word that just speaks to your heart in this moment. Doesn't matter if it feels silly or funny. Just let that word sink in. Bring your eye gaze up, or you can keep the eyes closed. Just bring the chin forward. Bring your right hand on top of your heart. Bring your left hand on top of that right. Bring the thumbs to touch like you have a butterfly or a bird on your heart. With this vibration in our body, with this energy center aligned. And take this moment here to thank both our Ganja gods and those who have come before us, our teachers, our guides, our gurus. Thanking ourselves, knowing that we are the ultimate guru. Knowing that within us we have all of the answers. That within us we can connect to those answers just by answering the call. Answering the call to be here, answering the call to do your meditations, answering the call, the literal call when somebody says, hey, let's do this, you say yes. Say yes over and over again to yourself. Say yes today, say yes tomorrow, say yes every time. With that, I release my intentions, my word out to the universe, knowing that it is truth, it is the ultimate truth, and my word is God. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.